hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie. Today I put together 20 of my favorite Coastal Christmas Ornament DIYs using supplies from the Dollar Tree. For the first one, we're going to be using these Dollar Tree wood slices. I thought it'd be really cute to do a driftwood snowflake. And I thought we could probably pull it off. So I was kind of thinking, how am I going to design this? It's going to need a center of some kind. And they also have these wood slices at the Dollar Tree, which are just the circle cuts. I don't use them as often, but I think they're going to be perfect for the center of my little snowflake. So I was trying to find one that was just about the right size and color, and this one looks really good. And then I thought the wood stems were too long. So are the wood slices, so I'm going to cut them in half using my miter scissors, and we can make the little lines to form the frame of the snowflake. I've seen like larger versions of this done, and so I thought I could kind of shrink it down and kind of make it look like a smaller driftwood snowflake, and it was really fun to make. So I'm just kind of measuring about halfway up the stick. My miter scissors were not super sharp, so they were kind of splintering some of the wood, but most of the time I could still use the other side. Sometimes they kind of flew because I was really having to cut these hard. And sometimes I can just kind of cut it into pieces too, and it kind of helps cutting through those. But again, you could always use a saw or whatever you have to cut it. So originally I go in here and I'm trying to see exactly like how many rays I want here on my little snowflake, and so that's how it looks with a total of 6. I did try to go in and add 2 more to do 8, but I found that it was probably going to be a little too crowded, especially when I go to add like the detail pieces of each one of the snowflakes. So I decided to go with a total of 6 instead of 8. And then I'm going to take those half pieces and then cut those in half again to form the little pieces that go out on the side of the snowflake. Now, I do have miter scissors, so I'll be able to cut those where they'll go the perfect direction. But I'm going to first attach all of these. I'm just using hot glue and attaching the cut end to the little wood circle that we put there in the middle. And I'm not measuring or anything. I'm just kind of going straight across from the one, across from it to form that. And then I take a half a piece that like we used before. And then instead of 90 degrees, I'm going to cut these at 45 degrees, which is the great thing about the miter scissors is that you can get these great angle cuts to make perfect crafts. So I can make them kind of go out in each direction like that. I think 1 row of those on each one is going to be plenty for this size of snowflake. And I'm glad I only decided to do 6 because as you can see, it would totally be too crowded if I would have done 8. So the first step is I just have to have the half pieces cut straight. So I'm going to go back in at 90 degrees and cut some more in half until I have enough for each one. And then I can go back and cut them at a 45-degree angle, saving both pieces, 1 for each side. And I was hesitant to do this because I thought it was going to be really time consuming, but I was really impressed with how easy it was. I absolutely love crafting with these wood slices. There's so many things you can do with them. And kind of like the driftwood that I get from Target, it's kind of easier to work with than the real stuff, but it gives you that same kind of driftwood feel. And I'm just simply attaching them with hot glue with my angled edges kind of pointing out so they'll sit flat up against the one next to it. And it is pretty sturdy. I do use Gorilla Glue hot glue, which is pretty a strong hot glue, but I am going to go back on the back side of my snowflake and reinforce it a little bit with a little bit of extra glue to make sure it's super strong. Then I kind of noticed, some of the wood was kind of darker, some of it was lighter, so I decided to kind of mix that up a little bit, make it look more random, like my little dark pieces like that, and then kind of mix and match that up. I decided I kind of probably should do like a darker one on the other side there. So just kind of moving those around a little bit. And we have a little driftwood snowflake. Way easier than I thought it would be. The wood slice for the center, I think, really helped. And of course, those longer wood slices, so cute. So I flipped it over on its backside. And then I'm just going to take some twine to make a little ornament hanger. And we can just knot that over one of the little snowflake rays. I decide to like just kind of loop it, pull it around, and then simply tie that off down here so that it will stay on the ornament without falling off. Just double knotting that, making the twine kind of go up in a loop there in the back. And that worked really well. I'm also going to kind of hot glue it just so it stays like kind of straight up in place. And it's going to make it hang straighter. And then this is just me reinforcing it with a little bit of hot glue on the back of my driftwood snowflake. You really won't be able to see this because it'll be on the back, and just hoping that that makes it a little bit stronger. But how cute is this? Our little driftwood snowflake ornament, perfect for a coastal Christmas tree. I absolutely love how this turned out, and I don't have anything like this on my coastal Christmas tree right now. Which, of course, I haven't put up yet. I do try to wait until Thanksgiving. And I'm so excited to have my son home for Thanksgiving break. I told him he's going to have to help me get that out of the attic and get it up. Christmas tree time.
And if you can't find the wood slices from the Dollar Tree, I think you might be able to use some just twigs for that as well. Now for the next one, we're going to be using one of these Dollar Tree ceramic white signs. I actually found this at the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree.
It's kind of large, but it's not too large for an ornament. Now, I designed this image with AI of little baby sea turtles heading out to the ocean. I love this. I think this turned out so cute. And again, I will share the free printable for you. I just printed mine out on cardstock again. And I made it a square, but I made it the same size as my circle here. It's just a matter of cutting it down to size. AI automatically like designs things in a square, and so it's just kind of easier to leave it that shape. But again, I will include the Google Drive so that you can print out one of your own because this image turned out so cute. I'm covering the ceramic ornament with lots of Mod Podge to give it a nice strong grip to the cardstock and lay that right here on top. I try to keep this part dry. I try to use a dry paper towel to kind of push it down, make sure it's really connected to all the ceramic there. I don't mind if I have a little bit of a white edge around. I'd rather have that than have like paper hanging over the edge. And I kind of feel out for any loose areas because I can always add a little bit more glue to make sure it's secure. And then I can go straight in with another coat of Mod Podge for the top, sealing the little sea turtles on there. How cute is that image? I've actually seen this, but it was at night, and you can't really use like lights at the beach because the sea turtles will get confused because they see the reflection of the moon in the ocean, and that tells them what direction to go to the ocean. So you don't want to use any light at night. But we were actually down on the beach one night when a whole bunch of little leatherback baby sea turtles hatched out and went to the ocean. And those are the ones that get to be huge sea turtles, like 1,000 pounds. They are incredible. So that is one of the great things that I've got to see here. I'm just kind of sanding my paper to make sure that I kind of have a circle shape. I didn't really like my cut over here on this side, and I wanted to make sure that I kind of had like an even white border all the way around my ornament. Now I have it all sealed and everything, so I can go ahead and poke some holes in here. This one was a little trickier because the holes were larger because it's a larger sign. And so I'm using my Cricut weeder, but I kind of have a little bit of paper in there I'd kind of like to remove. So I just kind of feel around where the hole is. I can always kind of cut that excess paper in there. And my Mod Podge is not completely dry inside there yet either. So I was trying to do the best I can to shape it up, but not rip anything. I will have my hanger knotted in the front, so it will also be able to hide any imperfections. So this is the rope that I'm going to use for the hanger. I'm just going to string it through, and then I will just knot it in the front, and that'll make a good way to hang it and kind of cover up those holes a little bit, make it look a little bit better. But yes, seeing sea turtles go out to the ocean was a wonderful thing to see. I've also seen the mama sea turtles lay the eggs as part of our like local coastal connections group. Um, a sea turtle charity that where you can go out and see that, and they kind of become in a trance, so they don't even know you're there, and it was absolutely amazing. They drop like 100 like ping pong ball size eggs into a hole that they dig. They bury it and head back out to the ocean, and they're amazing. So I just finished mine up with a little dry brush of ivory acrylic to give it that coastal farmhouse vibe, and there's my little baby sea turtles heading out into the ocean.
And I will include a link to this free printable for you, my Google Drive, in the description of today's video. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying today's video. If you are, be sure to hit that like button. It always helps my videos do a little bit better here on YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe.
Okay, next DIY, I thought we could use some Dollar Tree wood stems, and we could do like dock pilings, you know, where you see like the 3 logs tied together, you know, something that you could like tie your boat to. And so I'm going through my wood stems, and I'm trying to find 3 pieces that are kind of the same size that have flat tops that would make a good piling. So a little bit of trial and error. These things are all different shapes and sizes until I get 3 that I kind of like together. And we're going to do it like that. 1 shorter, 1 medium, and 1 longer. Then I'm just going to take some twine and just burning off the fuzzies on that. We're going to make a hanger. I don't really have any kind of hook or an eye for this, so I'm going to show you what I did instead. I'm just going to tie the twine into a loop, knotting it like that. And then I can kind of hide that knot inside the middle of the ornament in between all 3 of the logs. So I just picked up my shorter log, and I'm going to hot glue it here to one side. This is going to be the inside of the ornament. And it's a quick, easy way to make these without like using hook and eyes and stuff like that, which I tried to do, but I don't think I have any of those. And then it's just a matter of attaching them. So I'm just going to glue these 2 little wood stems together, putting the 3rd one here on top in that cute little piling fashion. And then they always look really good if they are like wrapped with rope. It makes them look a little bit more authentic. So I take some more Dollar Tree twine, burn off those fuzzies, and then we can just wrap these little wood stems. And I just start off by kind of like just tying them off. This is also going to help keep them together. And then I decided I kind of wanted my knot to be here on the back. We're not really going to be able to see it. So I kind of moved that around. And then once I get that on there, I can use the excess twine to wrap it around a couple of times. I think 3 times around looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to kind of tie this off in the back, kind of like I did before, so that will stay tight and keep everything together. Now I wanted to decorate this with something that was Christmas, but nothing too crazy, something that was going to go with the coastal feel of my Christmas tree. So I decided to use some of the little jingle bells from Dollar Tree. And maybe just string a couple of these. We can kind of rope those on to the nautical pilings there. I thought that'd be really cute. So I'm going to use 2 of those and some thinner Dollar Tree twine here, where I can just kind of tie that off. So 1 little jingle bell can hang on one side, and then I'm going to do the same thing here on the other. Just kind of making a little chain there that I can kind of put around the twine that we've already attached to the pilings. So I'm just going to kind of feed my bell through here so I can kind of loop that around, kind of twist that together so it's right there on the front of my ornament, and just kind of secure it with a little bit of hot glue to kind of keep it in place. Now I wanted to decorate it with something that I would see like over at the lagoon or something like that with these little pilings, and I thought it needed a bird of some kind. So what we're going to add is one of the little summertime fairy garden pelicans, the beach themed. I thought this one would be perfect. I can just sit him like right here on like the medium sized piling like that, and he's going to be the perfect little final touch to this DIY. And this is how it turned out. I think it's so cute, our little nautical pilings. They're very coastal, even kind of a nautical feel. And I love the little pelican on there. The jingle bells give a little hint of Christmas.
I think this turned out really cute. Nautical pilings is such a fun idea for Christmas. And if you can't find any wood stems at your Dollar Tree, you could always use some twigs from your yard for this. It'd be pretty easy to recreate. I love the little pelican on there though. That is my favorite. Now for the next Christmas ornament, we're going to be using a ceramic tag that I got at the Crafter Square at the Dollar Tree.
I think this is the perfect size for an ornament. I'm just going to go ahead and remove the rope to kind of get it out of the way. And then I designed this great image for this ornament. It says, "Leave a light on for Santa." I designed this with AI to do kind of a Christmas lighthouse scene. I thought that'd be perfect for a coastal Christmas. And I will share my Google Drive today with you of any printables or cut files that I used to make any of these ornaments. I've got quite a variety for you today, so stay tuned. Now, I designed this to size, but only as a rectangle, so I do kind of need to kind of cut off the corners. I thought it would be easier to do it now than once I got it on there, so I just sketched that out with a pencil, and then I can just cut out the corners, kind of rounding them a little bit until it's the right size for a little tag ornament. And I love these little ceramic tags. I mean, that's going to make a really durable Christmas ornament. It's just a matter of Mod Podging this on, and I'm just making sure that I have it cut down to size. I don't want any of the cardstock like hanging over the sides. And I always print my printables out on cardstock because they're easier to Mod Podge. You don't have to worry about wrinkling. You don't really have to wait for this coat to dry. So I just put a nice thick coat on there, lay my cardstock down on top, and kind of smooth it out with a dry paper towel. Once I get that on there, I can just go ahead and go over the top of it with another coat. And then I'm going to give that a quick dry, and then I'm going to come back in with a second coat of Mod Podge just to make sure that it is really good and sealed. Once I have that dry, I'm going to go in with just a sanding block, make sure that no paper is hanging over the edges, everything's nice and rounded, everything's secure. And then we can go in, and I kind of wanted to give it a little bit of a coastal farmhouse vibe, so just giving it a very light dry brush just to kind of break up the perfect print of the printer, and then kind of wipe off the excess with a baby wipe, just leaving that very light distress on there that I love so much for the coastal farmhouse vibe. Making it look a little beachy, and then it's just a matter of finding where the hole is in this and kind of poking it out. I like to use my Cricut weeder for that. And I was able to avoid my word, so that's good. And then I'm just going to take some Dollar Tree twine. I'm going to thread that through. I like to tie mine all the way to the ornament like that and then come up and tie it. I find that it hangs a little bit better on my Christmas tree like that. And here it is, our first ornament. Leave a light on for Santa. So coastal and cute for Christmas.
And I will include a link to that free printable in the description of today's video for this one too. I always like to include a lighthouse for one of my members, Melinda. Her mother really enjoyed those, and she always gets a kick out of a lighthouse DIY. So hi, Melinda.
For the next DIY, we're going to make a simple sand dollar ornament. These are the sand dollars from the Shore Living line at Dollar Tree. I try to stock up on these Shore Living items every spring and summer at Dollar Tree so that I have enough stuff so I can DIY at Christmas. Now, they're kind of a gray tint, so I kind of want mine to look more bleached out. So I'm just using an ivory acrylic and painting that to brighten it up a little bit. And a sand dollar is the perfect item to use for an ornament because it's already got the slot in there. It looks super coastal, and it's just the perfect size for an ornament. I thought I would pair it with some of those wood beads. That is also a Shore Living item from the Dollar Tree, and I just really like the beachy blue wood beads. You could use whatever you have, and you could always paint your beads as well. And I just take some twine from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to thread it right there through the slot on the top of the sand dollar. And we're going to tie that down, and so it's nice and secured, like double knotting that. Then we can bring that up. And I made sure I made it plenty long enough to make a hanger on it. And we can knot that, and I want to add wood beads. So I'm adding one of these beachy blue ones. And I kind of knotted it to kind of keep it in place. And I thought a couple of those would kind of brighten up the ornament, give it a little bit more decor. So I tie another knot and then add another blue bead. And then I can use the rest of the twine there to make a hanger for my Christmas tree. So I'm going to go ahead and tie that off. Once I made all those knots in there, I didn't really think that I'd made like my ornament hanger quite long enough. And so I do kind of scooch those little beads down. I was able to kind of force them over the knots that I had right there to keep them in place. And that kind of freed up the rest of the hanger so now we can use it. And that's all there is to it. We have a quick, easy little sand dollar ornament for a Christmas tree. It makes a perfect coastal Christmas ornament. Let me show you how it looks hanging on my tree.
And of course, you don't necessarily need those exact beads. You could take any beads that match your color scheme, and that would be really cute too. It just makes it look a little bit more ornamental hanging on your Christmas tree. And you can always paint them as well if you wanted to try to match that color. But I think it's perfect, and it was so simple to put together.
Okay, for the next ornament, we're going to use a starfish. This is the starfish from the Shore Living line at the Dollar Tree. And I wanted to do a combination of starfish and driftwood. So I'm going to be using these wood slices again. And I kind of wanted to do like just a driftwood sign out of them. So you can kind of use whatever you've got. I think these are going to work great for it because I can just try to find enough that are like a similar width and length. To kind of make a nice background to make the starfish more substantial because these little starfish from the Dollar Tree Shore Living line are not very big. They did have the larger ones that were tied to ropes this year. Those would be perfect to use on their own, but this kind of needed something. So I thought driftwood would make a perfect background for that. Now to keep it all together, just like the Christmas tree, I thought we would again use burlap for the back. So just going to go ahead and cut that down and get that ready. I really love the little plastic starfishes from the Shore Living line at Dollar Tree. They are plastic, so they're not real, and they're white. So I kind of want mine to look more ivory. Again, kind of like the sand dollar that we used from the Shore Living line at Dollar Tree. So I'm just using some ivory acrylic and going over it. If you paint it, it looks super realistic, like a little bleached out starfish, and super cute. So it's just a matter of putting this together, very similar to how we did the little driftwood Christmas tree. I'm just going to glue them all together to kind of make a square background that's going to be just the right size for the little starfish. So I'm just trying to use as little glue as possible. I know I had too much glue last time. Again, you might want to use a finer tip. This Ryobi, I love it. It's my favorite glue gun. This is my second one, but it does shoot out a lot of hot glue. Now, once I get them all secured together, again, I'm just going to put glue all over the back so we can glue everything together with the little burlap piece we're going to hide in the back. Which, you know, it's pretty cute too. You could always leave that on the front if you wanted, but I really wanted the driftwood to be the background for the starfish. I'm again taking some Dollar Tree twine, tying a little loop so we can make a little ornament hanger for this one. And then we can just kind of hide that on the back of our little driftwood ornament by gluing the knot right there to the burlap. Having it go straight up. And a quick, easy little driftwood sign that we can attach the starfish to now. Once I got the hot glue cleaned up there on the front, I always like to kind of lay my starfish on there first to see which arms are going to be touching or which rays. And I'm only going to put hot glue on those because those are what are going to connect to the driftwood there. And glue that right on top. I'm going to finish it off with another one of those little beachy blue wood beads just to give it a little bit of color. I only have room for probably about one there, but this is how it turned out. Our little starfish and driftwood Coastal Christmas Ornament.
And I think that those wood slices made a great background for those. I know the wood slices at my Dollar Trees can be very hit or miss. When they're hit though, you can get a lot of them. So be sure to stock up on them if you see them because they're great for coastal crafting. Hey guys, have you checked out my website yet? craftybeach.net. I'm trying to archive all my YouTube DIYs over there. I'm a little behind, but I'm trying to get caught up on that. But be sure to check it out, craftybeach.net.
Now, the next DIY, I wanted to make a lobster trap buoy ornament, and I couldn't find anything that was shaped like that, so we're going to make it. So I'm using a Dollar Tree foam block. These are the ones that come in the individual pieces. And I want it to be kind of square. So I was kind of measuring mine so I would know where to cut it. And I'm going to cut it with like the little pool noodle cutters from the Dollar Tree. They work pretty well for foam. But I'm kind of flipping it over as I go to make sure that I get a nice kind of clean cut and nothing breaks off too crazy there. And this is what we're going to mold into our little lobster trap buoy. I've got like just kind of a rectangular piece right now. And so I just kind of need to shave off the top because I need that distinctive shape that's on the top of a buoy. So I just kind of shave off at an angle. And I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. I start at the top and then go to the bottom to try to make sure that nothing breaks off kind of funny. And this stuff is pretty moldable at this point. So if you don't get it just right, you can kind of work with it to make it look perfect. You can even mold it a little bit with your fingers. It's so moldable at this point. We will seal it and paint it, so hopefully it will lose some of that. But that is what it looks like right now, a little miniature lobster trap buoy. Now for the hole, I'm just going to use the bottom of a paintbrush to kind of poke a hole through there. It works perfect for that. Large enough that we can put some twine through there for a rope. And then this part is kind of crucial. I'm going to seal the entire thing with Mod Podge because we're going to go in and paint it. And right now the paint doesn't have anything to stick to because that foam is like very crumbly and stuff like that. And so I'm going over the whole thing, every side, the top and bottom with Mod Podge. And we're going to let that dry and it's going to kind of give us more of a solid surface where we can work with. Now, I've made a larger version of these like lobster trap buoys out of the larger pieces of foam for 4th of July, so I knew I could do it, but I really love how this turned out with the miniature size. So this is what it looks like all dried, so you can kind of see that it's more of a solid surface now. And now I'm going to go in with some ivory acrylic and we're going to paint all the areas with that. I thought we would do a couple different colors on this to make it look beachy. If you wanted to do like red and white stripes for like a candy cane theme or more of Christmas colors, you totally can. But I'm going to stick with the blues and stuff like that most of my Coastal Christmas tree is already decorated in. And after I've made all of these ornaments today, my Christmas tree is going to look spectacular this year. I'm so excited. And Coastal Christmas ornaments are super easy to make. You'll see some of these projects today are just so easy. I made about half of these yesterday. And then half of them are some of the Coastal Christmas ornaments that I did last year. And that will be later on in the video today. So now for the blue part, I'm using my favorite color, Cloudless Acrylic by Apple Barrel. And it's kind of tricky, this part. I wanted to do the top part of the buoy in blue, but you really don't want to use painter's tape on this. I know from experience, it's not going to go well for you. So I'm trying to get straight lines, and I was kind of struggling with that, but I kind of just kept adding to it until I finally got some straight lines. And I want it to be kind of striped too. So I'm going to go back and kind of touch up my line to make it straighter and add a ivory stripe just to kind of break it up a little bit, kind of make it look more realistic. So I just kind of straighten up all those lines just by going back in there with the ivory. And then I'm just going to use one of these small brushes, you know, from the Dollar Tree to do lines. And that worked out pretty well. I'm used to being able to use painter's tape for lines. So I was like, man, this is hard trying to get this straight. But again, it's going to be handmade. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I absolutely love how cute this little lobster trap buoy turned out. It is adorable. So I'm just going over it with a couple coats to make sure that I cover the blue that is underneath. And otherwise, I think it's ready to go. I'm not going to add any numbers or anything to mine, but you totally could. You could put 1225 or something like that. I considered it, but it's kind of a small buoy, and I kind of liked the simplicity of just the stripes. So then I'm going to take some Dollar Tree twine and feed it through the little hole that we put here on the top of the buoy. And carefully pull that through. I don't want to mess anything up. And then we can just use that to tie it and make a simple little ornament hanger where it's kind of knotted here at the top. And it's very lightweight. This could go like on any Christmas tree branch. It's not going to weigh hardly anything. And I love how this turned out. I really tried to find something the shape of this, and I'm like, you know what? Nothing is shaped like this at Dollar Tree. Definitely going to have to make it from scratch. But look how cute it turned out. It looks just like a little blue and white striped buoy. This is how it looks hanging on my little Christmas tree that I got at Dollar Tree Plus this year. It's such a cute little tree. And it's great for displaying ornaments like this.
Now I would like to try to create a jellyfish Christmas ornament.
And I was trying to think what I could use for the top of it. And I thought the little burlap pumpkins from the fall section at Dollar Tree would be perfect. So if you have some of these left over, they make the perfect tops for a little jellyfish. I'm just going to go ahead and remove the little clip that was on the bottom. Now the bottom of the pumpkin can become the top of the jellyfish. It's shaped just perfectly. I'm also going to go ahead and remove the little pumpkin stem there. Just trying to pull that out without pulling out all of the burlap as well. Just going to kind of poke that back down inside, and we have the perfect little start for a jellyfish. Now, I've seen these for sale, and I thought it'd be pretty easy to recreate with just a couple items from the Dollar Tree. So I thought like the little burlap trim like this, the ribbon, would make great little tentacles for a jellyfish because it's got like the little squiggly line with the white and mixed with the burlap. I think that would be fun. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off some tentacles of that. We're going to make it a nice long little jellyfish. And then I'm going to go back and kind of cut these into smaller pieces. So we have like the little squiggly lines are like little individual tentacles now, a little bit thinner. But I think that's going to work well. I'm going to do the same thing here for the other one. And I thought we could just add different items to be the tentacles to hang down underneath the little pumpkin and try to make it look like a jellyfish. So I wanted to add a little beachy blue color too. And I have some of this blue ribbon from the Dollar Tree. This is like a thinner ribbon, and it is got like the white squiggles on it. And I thought this would work well too. It's nice and thin, so I thought that'd make a really good tentacle. And just a fun way to add a little bit of color to this DIY. So we're going to cut off some strips of that too to kind of dangle down. You can kind of use whatever you've got, whatever you think would make a good tentacle. You can always use twine, lots of different options. So I'm going to go ahead and cut down like 4 of the blue ones. And then again, I think twine would make a really good tentacle too. It's going to look nice and stringy. So I'm going to go ahead and cut some down of the Walmart twine too, to make a few more tentacles, and then we can kind of put all of these together. At first, I thought I was going to use some of the adhesive diamond wrap, perhaps, to make some tentacles too, to make it glitzy, but I think I ended up changing my mind on that one. Now it's just a matter of putting it together. I'm going to start hot gluing along the bottom of our jellyfish here, which is the top of our pumpkin. And I'm going to start with just the twine pieces first, and just kind of gluing those around our little jellyfish where they can dangle down, and they kind of like automatically curl from being on a roll anyway, so that's good. It kind of goes with the squiggly tentacle pattern that we're looking for. And I think I need a couple more, so I'm going to cut a couple more of the twine down. So I kind of did like even gaps all the way around the little pumpkin shape to fill that in all the outside of the jellyfish. I think that looks cool. And then we can go back in with some of our more intricate pieces for the inside of the jellyfish. Just trying to make sure that they lay properly. I think they look really cool, just like a jellyfish. And then the trim pieces are going to be all squiggly like that. So I'm going to kind of go in between where my twine was and put those. I'm only going to do like 4 of those. So just kind of spreading those out all the way around so they're kind of even. And then we can go back and add a touch of color with the blue ribbon. I was trying to decide exactly where I wanted to put that. And I decided I wanted that one to be like underneath. So we're going to go underneath our little jellyfish that we just created and glue those kind of to the underside where when it come down, you'll be able to see the blue, but you'll also be able to see like the white squiggle ribbon on there. And we're going to do another one over here. Do a total of 3. And that'll make them kind of hang down a little bit lower than the other ones too, because I kind of cut everything about the same length. Then I went back and I was able to fit a 4th one in there of our little blue ribbon, and then just kind of working with it to kind of try to make it lay right. But I think it looks just like a little jellyfish, super fun, and really fun to make with just a little Dollar Tree pumpkin. I just take another piece of twine and tie it in a knot so we can make a little hanger. Again, the Walmart twine, I love it because it's thick, but it's a little rough. So you usually have to burn off your fuzzies or any little crazy pieces that might be sticking out. And I just hot glue that knot right there to the center of the top of our jellyfish. And how perfect is a pumpkin? So if you've got any of those little pumpkins left over from fall at Dollar Tree, now you know what you can do with them. You can make a little jellyfish ornament for your Christmas tree. Jellyfish are really beautiful to look at. I just want to stay away from them. Even though my son is great to have with me, he's studying marine biology, so he always tells me which ones sting and which ones don't. But this is how it looks hanging on my Christmas tree. I love it. It's super fun and was quick and easy to DIY. Now, if you can't find the wood slice ornaments at the Dollar Tree, I wanted to show you what you could do with these. These are way more plentiful probably, and these are in your Christmas aisle, and they're not real wood slices, but we're going to kind of try to make it work. So first thing we're going to do is kind of try to take this apart. I can always use the back of it, but I thought I would try to clean it up the best I can. And the reindeer just kind of wanted to come off of it. They were not good, like attached. You can see I just pulled that one off with my hand. This one was glued on a little tighter, but still pretty easy to loosen up and kind of clean up the back of it. I also didn't really like the tinsel that was on there and the pine cone. It wasn't really my vibe because I wanted to do a coastal ornament with this. And it's all kind of in there with a giant staple. As I pull that out, it kind of leaves a big crevice. And again, the wood slice is not like a real wood slice, so the bark is kind of artificial and attached. So I'll just have to kind of put something up there at the top to kind of cover up the hole I left by taking that off. I'm going to go ahead and stain the back of it. It doesn't stain perfectly, but I think it looks better than just a really, really light wood like that. So I just use a little antique wax by Waverly and a baby wipe to stain the back. You can kind of see where the glue had been back there. So that's definitely going to be our back side. And then we're also going to stain this side. I just put enough stain on there of the antique wax by Waverly to be able to spread out and give a lighter stain by following that up with a baby wipe. And I wanted to add seahorses to this. I thought that'd be really cute. These are the little chipboard sea creatures that they have right now at the Crafter Square. And I'm going to try to use 2 of the seahorses. Now, they're already painted in kind of like this tie-dye pattern, but I kind of want mine to be facing each other like that. So I'll have to kind of paint those to match because the back of it's just like the chipboard material. And you can use whatever you find. You know, sometimes they just have them in the chipboard. They don't have to be these colored ones. And I just go over them with like 3 coats of my favorite color, the cloudless blue color, to make them look beachy and blue. It was a little bit of coverage to get that glossy paper and that chipboard to be like a solid color. So it took a good 3 coats. Once I get those painted, I can go ahead and make a new hanger for ornament. I just tie the twine into a knot. I can always hide that into this crevice that I kind of made here. I put a little hot glue down in there, and I'll also have to come back and put something on the sides to kind of fill that in where the bark is now missing because I removed all of the greenery that was up there. And then I kind of want these like maybe one taller than the other one. I think it looks better kind of like that. And we're just going to simply hot glue our little seahorses on here. So cute. I am a huge seahorse fan, so anytime I can use that in a DIY, I'm definitely going to do it. And glue the other one down here. I thought about doing a little seaweed or something like that, but I kind of like the simplicity of the wood slice. Now for the greenery, I'm just going to use some of this frosted mistletoe that I got at Dollar Tree. And with their Christmas greenery, And I was trying to decide how long I wanted it to be. At first, I tried that length by trimming off one set of leaves, but I thought it was too long. I kind of wanted it to look a little bit like seaweed, but I didn't want it to be super obnoxious long, so I trimmed it down a little bit more, and I like that better. And I had got the hot glue kind of hot inside there already, and so I was able to just put those down right inside. And then I thought it needed like maybe one more little beachy touch. So I decided to add some little tiny starfish I have. I get these on Amazon. They're in my shop below. I order them in the ivory and the blue. I think they're so cute. You can see they come in a variety of sizes. I picked out 2 of the small ones to kind of fill in some of the open space there in my wood slice and just give it another little coastal touch. They are real little starfish and they're so cute. So just a little dot of hot glue is going to secure those on there. And here it is, our little wood slice seahorse ornament.
I think it turned out really cute, and it is a great alternative if you can't find any of the large wood slice ornaments at your Dollar Tree. But you know what? I've been able to find those for about the past year at Dollar Tree. I really love wood slice ornaments. They're just the perfect size for creating an ornament like this. Hey guys, I would love to see your DIYs. Have you been making any ornaments or Christmas DIYs? Be sure to share them with the group, all of us, on my private Facebook group. I have it linked in the description of today's video, and we would love to see what you've been crafting.
For our next ornament, we're going to use one of these like little fluffy white wreath ornaments from the Dollar Tree. And we're just going to kind of remove whatever they've got going on here. The jingle bell, the ribbon, the greenery, the berries. I just want to take that off, but I don't want to damage like the fluffy layer. So I just use a little heat just to kind of loosen their glue. Whatever that greenery is they use in the Dollar Tree, if you put any heat on that at all, like it just melts immediately. I was able to get everything off. And I want to give it a little coastal beachy makeover. I thought it would be a really cute, like little fluffy life preserver or buoy. And so to do that, I'm just going to use some of the Christmas ribbon. This is the light blue ribbon they have at Dollar Tree with the white snowflakes on it. I thought it would be great for a beachy inspiration, and it looks great for winter too because it's got the little snowflakes on it. And so I'm just going to go in and cut some ribbon down. I also want to have like the little ropes that go around the life preserver. So to get that, I'm just taking some Dollar Tree white rope and unwinding it into thirds so I have a skinnier piece. But you could always use the Dollar Tree like macrame cord for this too. Either one would work. And I'm just hot gluing that to the very side of my little snowy wreath there. Trying to get all of the fibers down. And then I'm going to go over that with the blue ribbon, kind of tying that down like that. It'll cover up where I glued it to the ribbon. And then I can just use the ribbon all the way around to tie it where the rope will kind of stick out the sides, forming a cute little snowy life preserver. So I glued my first one on. I'm going to need a total of 4 pieces of the blue ribbon. And I just kind of, put a little slack in the rope there so some of it hangs out, and glue my next ribbon on. Holding that on, I can kind of put a little glue in there to kind of keep the rope in place too. And we're going to do the same thing here, just kind of spacing it out, trying to work across from where we did it the first time. Gluing the ribbon to itself on the back of the ornament there so it's a little bit hidden. And our 4th ribbon here. And then I can go back with my other end of the rope and hide that under the existing ribbon to kind of finish it off by kind of putting some hot glue and tucking that right underneath the ribbon. And now it looks like a snowy little life preserver, super fun for a coastal themed Christmas tree. Once I have it all put together and how I like, I'm just kind of rearranging the rope a little bit, trying to straighten it out a little bit. It was a little curvy from being in the rope shape because, of course, I unwound it. And then I just need to make a hanger so that we can hang this on the Christmas tree. I'm just using something twine from the Dollar Tree, the brown and white twine, and just tying that to the rope here on the top of my ornament. And this is ready to go. So quick and easy. I love these little fluffy ornaments. I've also used these for like candle holders, the long skinny candles at Dollar Tree. They're very versatile, but I really like it as a little snowy looking life preserver, or a little fuzzy life preserver, if you will. Super cute, and I love that ribbon. It's very subtle and pretty, and it goes great with the coastal decor. Now for the next one, I'm going to use a Halloween ornament. I picked these up at the end of Halloween because they were already kind of blue, so I thought these would make a good like fishing float, like a glass float look without having to dye it. Now, I wanted a smaller fishing net, and a lot of you guys have recommended these rug liners, so I thought I would give it a go. I had actually picked up a market pantry bag for this, and I have no idea what I did with it, so I'm trying to use the rug liner to see what that would look like. And not really a fan. So I think I'm going to DIY my own fishing net to go on the outside of my fishing float, because I just didn't think this looked very much like a fishing net in this application, and I would have all that excess material that I would have to kind of deal with as well. So I thought it would just be easier to make my own. So I'm just going to use the white twine from the hardware section at Dollar Tree, pop off the top of my ornament, and just kind of make our own little fishing net. So it's a little time consuming, but I will take you through the steps that it takes to do this. And it's going to give you a net that's going to be the perfect size for your ornament. So there was kind of a line around mine, so I kind of went with that so I could kind of hide it. And I'm going to glue it right here under where the ornament hanger is, and then wrap it around. I glued it to the bottom there, and then gluing it to the top on the other side where it just went all the way around, but not where the ornament hanger is, if that makes sense. And then I'm just going to have to keep going through and doing rows. I just kind of keep repeating the same pattern by gluing it here at the top, pulling it around the bottom. At first I thought that was the center because that's where there was a little dot, but then I realized the center, that was not the center. So I'm going to kind of move mine over, overlap it at the true center here on the bottom of my ornament. Now, if you can't find these, again, these were Halloween ornaments. It's pretty easy to kind of dye these to kind of get your own look. You can dye plastic with clothing dye if you want to get a colored ornament like this. Or you could even take like a little bit of food coloring, glue, and water, and thin it out, put it inside your clear plastic ornament, and, you know, kind of let the excess fall out. Drying that, and the dye and the glue is going to kind of give you a similar like stained vibe to make your own colored little globe like this. So I just keep repeating that all the way around until I get pretty good coverage. And now it is the cross weave, I guess, of the fishing net. And I'm only going to do a couple of rows, and I do that by kind of feeding it underneath the twine so that I can tie it into a knot. And that's going to kind of be my starting piece. Now, I put a little hot glue on the end of my twine. It's going to make it easier to thread that through each one of these twine pieces, kind of making it into like a needle kind of point, and tying that on to the row next to it, trying to keep it as taut as I can. And we're just going to keep doing that until we go all the way around the little fishing float. The toughest part was probably just trying to get it underneath the twine. I had my twine on there fairly tight, but if you kind of move it back and forth, you can kind of find a little weak spot to be able to feed it through, and then just tying it to itself, forming that knot. The knot is kind of key to kind of get that fishing net feel. I found that even though it was a little tricky to get the line in there, it was easier to do it now because while it was attached than to make the net and attach it later, because again, we're going over the globe shape, so it's not like a perfect linear surface. And we're going to keep doing that until we go all the way around. I'm going to knot it to the same place that we started the knot, and then I can go down and do a second row. I decided 2 rows was enough to kind of make the fishing net pattern on it, and it actually did turn out super cute. Just a little bit time consuming. And I love doing the fishing net with the market pantry bags. Sometimes I can find them at Dollar Tree, but they're white and pink, and I haven't found any in a long time, but I did find one recently at Five Below, but I have no idea where I put it. I've been in the middle of turning my guest room into my craft supply room, and I'm trying to get super organized. A lot of you guys have mentioned that you would like me to make that into a video, so I am currently working on that to give you guys some ideas to try to get your craft stashes under control. So you'll have to let me know in the comments below if you would enjoy that video. This is that second row that we're doing, and again, just feeding it under, tying it off, and I started the same place I stopped. That way it can kind of be the back of my ornament that kind of has the extra knots on it, but it doesn't really matter. Knots are part of like the fishing net pattern. And even though it was a little time consuming to do, I think this turned out really cute. I think it does look kind of like a glass fishing float, which was the look I was going for. I don't have anything like this on my coastal Christmas tree right now. And it's not real glass. Again, it's just plastic, but it definitely has the appearance of a blue glass. And you can kind of move these up and down until it's nice and tight, however it's going to look the best. And then I am going to reattach this. I kind of had to hot glue it on to get it to reattach. It was kind of on there, kind of weird. And so cute. Now it just needs a hanger because it's just got like the metal hanger there at the top. So I decided to switch it up and use the brown twine for this part, just to give a little variety, and just tie a knot there on the top. And there it is, our little glass fishing float Dollar Tree DIY ornament. Look how pretty that looks. You would never know that was a Halloween ornament, right? It totally gives me like a blue, like iridescent vibe, which I think is kind of cool. I think it's going to look really good combined with like my Christmas lights. Okay, the next DIY. Now this one's not even white. This is just the silver glitter tree ornament they always have at the Dollar Tree. But again, just like the Starwood, it's got a plain back. So you can kind of use that as a blank canvas and do whatever you want with it. I mixed some Caribbean blue and ivory together and acrylic paint to give me this light beachy blue. And we're just going to simply paint over the glitter, sealing it in there and kind of making it go away. So it doesn't really even matter what color you start with. You just have to kind of remember that most of the ornaments that you can get at the Dollar Tree do have a plain back like this, where it can kind of give you a plain canvas. And we can now decorate it to make it look like a little coastal Christmas tree instead. So this is that burlap ribbon that we used before for the jellyfish with the squiggles. I thought this would make great garland and look super beachy. And if I can just kind of diagonal it down the Christmas tree, it'll look like garland. So I just kind of wrap it all the way around like that. And then we can just attach it with a little bit of hot glue. I'm just going to kind of leave the back of the ornament. You're not going to be able to see it anyway, and I didn't really want to kind of deal with that. There's a lot going on back there. Just going to hot glue that on, but I just simply wrapped it around. And then I'm going to take some of blue and white twine to make a little hanger. I love this color. It's so beachy. Tie a little knot there on top to make a little ornament or a little hanger for ornament. And then I thought it needed a tree topper, and the little tiny starfish that I get on Amazon is the perfect size. So I just glue that right there to the ornament holder. Looks super beachy. I was trying to think of something I could make ornaments with that would be small enough on the scale. The little tiny shells from the Dollar Tree were a little bit too big, so I decided to use wood beads. This is one of like the variety packs from the Dollar Tree where it's got all different sizes, but it's got some really tiny little wood beads in there, and I thought they'd be the perfect size for ornaments. So we're just going to simply hot glue those on the exposed blue parts of our tree to just make little tiny coastal Christmas ornaments. And that worked pretty well. I was happy with that. And when else am I going to use those little tiny wood beads anyway? I just kind of do a row of them, just kind of like I did the garland. And this is how it turned out, our little coastal Christmas tree. It turned out so cute. And again, we just used an ornament from the Dollar Tree and gave it a transformation. This is how it looks hanging on my tree. I think it's so cute for coastal Christmas. All these ornaments, I try to keep like, my same style of burlap, light blue, ivory colors. Everything just looks so good together, all together on my coastal Christmas tree. The next DIY is so easy. I got one of these little rope balls from the Shore Living line at Dollar Tree this year, and it's already got the hanger on it. So I thought this would make a perfect nautical little ornament for a Christmas tree. I picked up some of this blue yarn, super fuzzy yarn at Dollar Tree, and I thought maybe we could add a little blue to this just for a slight little bit of decoration. I kind of want the just nautical look, but I did want a little bit of color too. So I'm just going to tie that yarn right here where the rope ball and the hanger comes together. It's kind of thinner than I thought, so I'm just going to kind of wrap it around until it looks a little bit more substantial, adding a little pop of blue, maybe a little blue like snowball up there. I'm going to kind of tie it to itself. Just wanted a fun touch. You could always just add the rope ball and be fun. But again, I wanted mine to be a little bit more colorful. And then I thought a starfish would look really cute on there too. And it wouldn't really take away from the shape. So I'm adding one of these little molded white starfish that I get on Amazon. These are linked in my shop below as well. They are great for crafting because they're just the right size. I hot glue that to the yarn there on the front, and this one's ready to go. It was made to be an ornament. It's already got the hanger right on there, and you don't even have to make it. I love these. They have these every year in the Shore Living line in the spring and summer at Dollar Tree. And you can just hang it straight on your branch just like that. It works perfect, and you can't get much easier than that.
And I love those rope balls. I've actually made a snowman, a Coastal Christmas snowman out of these using the vase filler ones that you can find at Target. But I think they make a perfect ornament.
Okay, our next DIY, I have one of these little mermaid tails. These came like with a couple mermaid tails. They have them in the Shore Living line every year. And I saved one for an ornament. And I thought we could pair it with some of this deco mesh from the Dollar Tree. I think this kind of looks like water. It's like light blue with like the white speckles in it, and it just gives me like an ocean feel. So I thought I could kind of combine the two together to make a really beautiful ornament. These little mermaid tails are the perfect size for an ornament, and they already have a hole in the top to hang them as well. So I thought it was just screaming to be a coastal ornament. So I was trying to figure out how I could do this. I was thinking about just kind of attaching the deco mesh around it just to give it, some more texture and material. So I'm just going to kind of lay my mermaid tail on there, kind of sketch out, a frame around it so I'll know how to cut that out, how much fabric I'm going to need. I just draw that on there with a Sharpie and then go in there and cut out the fabric. Now that's just going to be like kind of a background piece to this ornament. We are going to decorate the little mermaid tail to make it super pretty for our Christmas tree. Now, the one thing I like to do with these mermaid tails is to add texture to the scales on the tail. But I'm going to paint mine first and then go back and add texture. So I mixed some like Caribbean blue and ivory together to give me this very light color. And then I kind of wipe off the excess paint so I can still see like the mermaid pattern on there. I'm also going to go ahead and paint the back of it just because it's an ornament and it's just going to make it have a finished back. Then I go in there. This time I'm using my fine tip hot glue gun so I can get a little less hot glue. And we're just going to draw that mermaid scale pattern on here. And it's going to give us a great textured surface to bring out the scales there on the mermaid tail. And it's one of my favorite things to do with any of the wood mermaids from Dollar Tree. I think it just gives it a really fun feel. They also have like these little fins here on the tail. So I'm going to go in and kind of outline those too to give little ridges down here. And as long as your paint's thin, you should be able to see your pattern through there just fine. I love these little signs. There's so many different things you can do with the little mermaid tails. And you get like, 2 or 3 of them on a string. I love them. Now, once the hot glue set up, you can see the texture. So I just distressed it with a little bit of ivory to bring out the texture. I'm going to go ahead and put a hanger on there too while the hot glue sets up on the tail fin part. Just using some of that blue and white twine again. I think that looks really beachy. And tying a knot there on top. And I think our hot glue has started to set up. And I'm going to distress this part with ivory as well to bring out that great texture down there too. And it just looks very weathered, very coastal farmhouse, and just an easy way to paint the little mermaid tails. And of course, I love the beachy blue color. So now we can just attach that deco mesh to the back of it. It's going to make it look frilly, just add, a little bit of texture and fun to our mermaid tail. And I'm just going to hot glue that straight to the back. And lay that right on top. And then I'm going to distress this a little bit more just to kind of cover up the hot glue. I don't really want any of the clear hot glue showing. I want it to be more of an ivory thing. And then for a Christmas touch, I thought we could add maybe some of the Dollar Tree jingle bells just for fun. So I'm just going to grab a couple jingle bells and we can string those up with that same twine and tie those to our mermaid tail just to make this a little Christmas mermaid tail. And they're easy enough to tie like a knot on. I did it on both ends so that I could go around and tie that right there to the hanger. And provide another little cute touch to our little mermaid tail. What do you guys think? I like the deco mesh. It definitely kind of reminds me of water. And it's just a kind of a way to make the little mermaid tail a little bit extra special. And I love the little scales on the mermaid too. I think they're super fun. Very beachy, and this looks great on my coastal Christmas tree. Now, for this one, I wanted to try some of the Cricut holographic vinyl. This is the holographic blue. I think I've had this roll forever, but I never really had a use for it until now. I wanted to do mermaid scales on a little Christmas ornament. I picked this up at Target Dollar Spot. It's a gift topper, but it was only $1, so even cheaper than the Dollar Tree. And we're just going to kind of convert it and make it into an ornament. All I had to do was kind of cut it down, tie the knot off, remove some of the wood beads, and now it's an ornament, which makes more sense to me. And then I cut out mermaid scales using the holographic Cricut vinyl. And again, I will include this SVG that I designed for you in this round pattern to cut out the perfect little mermaid scales. And I'm so glad I decided to use holographic because it is so sparkly and cool, just like you would think mermaid scales would look. So I'm just going to, again, use my paper transfer paper and transfer all the vinyl over to that. And I'm just going to cover the entire wood ornament with the mermaid scales. Super easy to do, and it turned out so fun. It takes this little plain Christmas ornament from the Target Dollar Spot and gives it a coastal vibe for sure. I made it slightly overlap the little line edges on there, so just trying to line that up so it will be completely even on both sides. That's the only thing about the paper transfer paper. It's a little hard to see through it, but again, it is my favorite. And I just scraped that on there, and there's our little holographic mermaid scales. How fun are those? Super cute. I'm not going to seal it or anything because I don't want to take away the sheen from that holographic vinyl. I think it's pretty secure, and you can see how much that shimmers and shines. That's going to look so great with all my Christmas lights, making it sparkle on my Christmas tree this year.
But this is a fun way that you can take something really cheap, like one of these little Christmas ornament tags, and make it into a fun little Christmas ornament. I love the mermaid scales. It's one of my favorite patterns. I think it looks so fun for a coastal Christmas.
Now you can also use these little wreath charms from the Dollar Tree. It doesn't really matter what they have on them. You can always paint them and make them your own. They're the perfect size for an ornament. They're made out of wood. They already have a hole in them for the ornament, so perfect. You just kind of have to cover up whatever is on there. And you can always work on the back of them too, and you're going to have just a fresh surface. You just kind of have to get all of those pesky labels off the back. I'm going to go ahead and paint over the little welcome with the spring bicycle on this, just to kind of hide that. Just with some ivory paint, it's going to take a couple coats to get that covered. And now we just have a plain blank ornament to work with. Now I thought we would do a fun little beachy scene on this one using some blues. It didn't really matter what they are. I'm going to kind of mix and match. I just wanted different shades of blue so we can do a really simple abstract beach scene. So just kind of doing a wave in this color, a row in this color, a row in this color, and just you're looking out at the ocean. They're going to be different shades of blue, and they can always be super abstract like that. You can always kind of just go back and blend them together. I blended mine together with a baby wipe to kind of give a cool like swirl. And then you can even mix in like a little ivory to like make some little brighter areas. And I kind of wanted a horizon line, so using some of that darker blue to kind of shade that in the back to kind of separate the ocean from the sky. And I kind of want this curvy line here in front to kind of represent like the ocean lapping up against the beach. So super easy. I also do a little sanding here, kind of rough it up a little bit, kind of give the appearance of some white waves out there. And then for the beach part, I thought, hey, let's use sand. So I'm just going to use some school glue, kind of spreading that in our little beachy area. And then we can go in there with some Dollar Tree sand and cover up our beach, gluing that right on top. Whenever I try to glue down sand on a project, I always like to kind of glue it from the bottom and glue it from the top. For the top, I like to use this little spray glue from the Dollar Tree. And then it kind of makes it wet with glue again. You can kind of go back and add another layer of sand. And then I sprayed it again with that, trying to clean up any sand that's glued to the ocean part. I just want the sand to try to stay on the beach if it will. So just trying to clean that up a little bit. And then we can decorate this with some more beachy items, but it's looking super coastal so far. I like the addition of the real sand. I think that's a fun little touch for a Christmas ornament. Now to decorate it, I'm going to again use some of those little bottled seashells from the Dollar Tree. And whenever I see these, I totally stock up on them as well. I always like to have a variety of these in stock. And I like to use these little toy organizers from the Dollar Tree to sort them out. That way they're a little bit easier to get to when they're not trapped in those little glass bottles. And I'm just going to glue those, trying to make sure that I glue them directly to the wood sign, not just to the glue. And then I'm going to use one of these little glass decals from the Dollar Tree in the starfish pattern. And this is not shore living or anything. This is kind of something for Crafter Square that they have. And just laying that on my beach scene to make a large starfish, just to give it a little bit more character. I'm going to distress that slightly to make that look a little bit more coastal up here. Just distressing with ivory in one direction, kind of blending that in with a baby wipe. And then I thought I would kind of bedazzle that like little starfish a little bit to kind of make it look more 3D like my seashells. And I'm going to do that with these pretty little iridescent blue stickers. They're, what are these called? Like, I guess kind of like a bead sticker. And I like these because they're on a strand of glue, so you can kind of pull them apart wherever you need them to be, but you can attach more than one at a time. And I just do all the rays of the starfish, and the color is perfect. Super cute and beachy blue. And then I'm just going to use twine to make a hanger on mine. And it's already got the hole in there, being the little wreath charm. And I'm just going to loop some twine here on top. This is the thicker twine from Walmart. You can kind of use the one from Dollar Tree if you wish. The one at Walmart's a little bit thicker, but this is how it turned out, our little beach scene. It's also got the little bedazzled starfish on there, which I think is a fun little take on it. Otherwise, you could just leave it as a beach scene if you'd like. But I like the sand and the shells on there. Super pretty, and one of my favorite Coastal Christmas Ornament DIYs.
And it was so easy to do. Anytime I can use sand on a coastal project, I am going to try to do it, as well as my massive seashell stash.
Now for the next ornament, we're going to use just a clear, empty plastic ornament from Dollar Tree that kind of looks like an upside down jar. And then one of their little fairy garden gnomes. This one is like a little beach scene with a surfboard. I got this summer at Dollar Tree. It says it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And I thought we could turn the gnome into Santa Claus. So I'm just taking a red paint pen, and we're just going to make this little gnome's bathing suit red instead of yellow. He's already got a red hat, so I think he kind of looks like Santa Claus already. just a matter of switching the color of his shirt. Now, these normally come out in the summer, but if you're lucky, you can still find these at Dollar Tree. I've still been finding some of the beach ones because they, kind of just leave them with the fairy garden stuff, and every season kind of mix them all together. Now, I thought that I didn't have great coverage, so I decided to go back in there with a little red acrylic and a tiny brush just to make sure that I got all of the yellow covered up. The paint pen was a little hit or miss. And see how he already looks like Santa? He's got the little red Santa hat on. He's already got the white beard, so it'll look like Santa at the beach saying, "It's 5 o'clock somewhere." And I thought that would make the perfect addition inside this little jar ornament. We can attach it to the bottom, and I kind of want to lift him up a little bit, so I'm going to use a couple of those little wood blocks from the Dollar Tree to glue to the little lid to boost him up, because I want to fill this with some Dollar Tree sand to make it look extra beachy and fun. So I just glue him to those 2 blocks. Those will be covered up in sand, but that way he won't kind of disappear underneath the sides of that and underneath the sand. Now, I don't really like the look of the plastic lid. It looks a little cheap. So I thought we would make it look coastal by covering it with twine. So I'm just using hot glue, and we're just going to wrap the lid with twine. I'll still be able to use it to kind of put this together, but it's just going to make it look a little bit better. Definitely a little bit more coastal. So I'm just going to hot glue that around. It's going to take like 3 rows to get good coverage on the plastic sides. And then just kind of cleaning it up a little bit with a flame. Now, I think that looks pretty good. Now, for the very bottom of it, I didn't really want to cover the whole thing with twine, so I decided to use some of the burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree to cover the bottom, because I didn't really want the plastic on the bottom of it either. I just don't like the look of it. So that goes perfectly with the twine. So I just cut down a little circle of burlap and hot glue that to the very bottom. Again, it doesn't interfere with the operation of it because I can still screw it on the ornament. And I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I also removed the hanger for the ornament so that we can go back in and fill it in with sand to make it look like Santa's at the beach. I just sprinkled Dollar Tree sand in through the hole there at the top to form a little beach, trying to get it to the right depth. I don't want too much, just enough to cover the wood blocks and like Santa's feet. And then you can decorate it with seashells if you want. These little teeny tiny ones from the Dollar Tree work great because you can just put them in from the top, land them on the beach, and it'll look like a little beach scene right inside your little plastic ornament. So again, just using a few items from the Dollar Tree, it makes a really cute little Coastal Christmas DIY. I'm going to go ahead and pop my hanger back on here, trying to get the wires just right so it'll be nice and strong and can hold up that ornament. Now, I don't really like the look of the cheap metal up there, so I thought we could kind of reinforce that too with some more twine at the top. And I thought this might actually make it more secure because now it's heavy with the sand, the shells, the Santa in there, all those kind of things. And I want to make sure that it all stays in one piece. So I just glued that to the ornament itself and then to the hanger and hot glue that all the way up, covering up pretty much everything, but just leaving the metal hoop here where I can make a hanger with that twine as well, just by stringing that through and tying a knot. Just a way you can kind of disguise those cheaper looking ornaments, make them look more coastal. It also makes them look a little bit more high end. And there it is, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. This reminds me of a lady that I knew that was a huge Jimmy Buffett fan, and she loved that song, and she's passed away, so this kind of makes me smile. There he is, Santa at the beach. He's got his surfboard, he's got his seashells, he's ready to go. So remember, if you can find any of those gnome things, it's pretty easy to turn a little gnome into a little Santa Claus.
And so cute. Okay, now these are the Dollar Tree wood ornament slices.
And we're going to use our Cricut to make some fun little beachy ornaments. Now, you can see they're a little bit different sizes, but we're going to make them work. This one had a little water damage, so we're not going to use that one because I want the exposed wood on this one. I don't really want you to be able to see the water damage. Just going to use my new Cricut Joy Extra to cut down some vinyl. I wanted to do some snowflakes to go on each one because I want them to be coastal, but I want them to have a little bit of a winter feel. So we're just going to add some white vinyl snowflakes to these, and then we can add some sea creatures. And as you can tell, this is HTV and not vinyl. These are the iron-on. I'm going to show you how you can do the iron-on on wood. Now for the sea creatures, I'm going to use this prismatic glitter vinyl from Cricut and this like mint green color. I thought this would be so perfect. I cut out a sea turtle and a seahorse, and I think they turned out so pretty with that prismatic glitter. They shimmer and shine. I can't wait to see what they look like with my Christmas lights this year. So I do have these designs saved under Cricut Design Space, and I will post the links to those as well. You will have to have a membership, or you'll have to buy the files because this is an official Cricut project. Now, I went on the Cricut Heat Guide. It told me 300 degrees for 45 seconds. Now, not all wood is the same with HTV, and so you kind of have to take that in mind. I just let mine cool, and mine were pretty well down with the time, but I did notice when I went to add the glitter, I did have to add extra time. These are where you kind of have to like wait until it's cold to peel it off. So it does require a little bit of patience. And this one said 315 for 30 seconds. And I'm just using my Cricut Easy Press, and that's when it wasn't stuck. So I just went in with my smaller Cricut iron and tried to apply more heat. But you totally can use HTV on wood, and it's a great use for these little wood slice ornaments from the Dollar Tree. Look at that shimmer and shine. I thought these were so fun to put together, and I really had a good time doing the little sea turtle and the seahorse, two of my favorite little creatures. Now these also come with hangers, so I'm just going to go ahead and string the hangers back on. And these are complete, our two little glitter sea creature ornaments. I think these are going to look great displayed together. These would be a great gift idea as well. And I kind of designed the snowflakes where they would kind of be in the background of each creature. Here is our little seahorse with snowflakes. Look at that glitter. And our little sea turtle glimmering as well. So remember that you can totally use the HTV on your wood ornaments too, instead of vinyl. And it kind of gives you a little bit different feel. Seems to stick a little flatter. The only problem that I had was trying to get enough heat to make sure that it was super attached. Now, these are just the clear plastic globe ornaments from the Dollar Tree, and I thought I would show you how to do a beach scene in these as well. Totally can do it with this shape as well, if you prefer. But this time you're only going to have the top where you can kind of fill things in. Now, you can do just the clear plastic, but I thought it'd be fun to add a little beach to it. So I'm going to use some of these little beachy glass stickers from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to add the coral here to the front, just so I can kind of decorate the outside of the ball as well as the inside. Again, we're using Dollar Tree sand. I'm just going to cut off a corner so I can pour it directly into our ornament, and we can make another little beachy ornament. Now, if you have sand from your favorite beach or something like that, you could totally use that as well. And that would be a fun little touch. You can even label the ornament with your Cricut or something like that where you got it. So we're just going to fill this in maybe like a quarter or a third of the way with sand. And then we can go in and put beachy things in there. And again, the little tiny ornament shells from the Dollar Tree that come in the little glass bottles are perfect. So I'm just going to pile in a whole bunch of seashells on this beach and kind of scatter them around. You really can't have too many. And then maybe a few starfish as well would be cute. These are the little tiny starfish that I get on Amazon. And that's going to make it look very coastal and cute as well. Now it's kind of heavy now that I've added all the sand and shells to it. You could also kind of put like a paintbrush in there to kind of get the sand off the edges if it's kind of sticking, which is what I did to kind of clean mine up a little bit. But I also kind of want to reinforce this hanger because I wasn't sure if it was going to be able to hang it. You know, I kind of want to attach this a little bit more than what the wires are going to do, just because it's heavy now. And so I'm going to kind of do the same thing I did on the last one. We're just going to use twine to do that. So I'm going to clean up a piece of twine here Again, Walmart twine, super, super fuzzy, but so is the Dollar Tree one, to be honest. And then for my first row, I'm going to glue that to the ornament and to the ornament topper. It's going to glue them together, and it's going to make this stronger. It's also going to disguise the cheap plastic metal look to the top of the ornament and make it look coastal as well. So we're just going to cover that whole thing with twine. Just putting hot glue here and there as I kind of spiral my way up to the very, very top. Again, I want to leave like the little hook hanger on top to be able to hang it. And we'll just do that with another piece of twine just by threading some more through and tying a simple knot. And it made it a lot stronger. I don't have to worry about it falling apart right now. Kind of made it more solid. So this is what we have so far. I think it looks really beachy and cool. I thought like the little glass sticker that I added to the front though was kind of not as colorful as I wanted, but I love the kind of shape of the coral on there. So I thought I could kind of go in and add a little color to it. So I'm just going to use a little Caribbean blue and a tiny paintbrush, and I'm just going to go in and kind of paint our coral on there just to make it a little bit more colorful and fun in contrast against the sand and shells. And look how cute that turned out. It's so beachy and fun and so easy to do with just a few items from the Dollar Tree. So if you don't have that little sticker, it's super easy to paint coral on yours if you want coral on yours as well. Just do some little branching shapes. Or you could just fill it with sand and shells. I think that will look really cute as well.
And you made it all the way to the final reveal. I really hope you enjoyed these 20 coastal Christmas ornaments using supplies from the Dollar Tree. I had so much fun putting this video together. Be sure to let me know which ornament was your favorite or which one you want to try down in the comments below, and enjoy the final reveal.
Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sun said it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. Here we go. All right. Dance, dance, now this Christmas, we're gonna dance. We're gonna dance, 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 come on. Dance. We're gonna dance, dance, have a good time. Dance, dance, all night long. We're gonna dance, dance, and have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. Hold up. beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sunset, it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. Here we go. All right. Dance, dance, now this Christmas, we're gonna dance. We're gonna dance, 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 come on. Dance. We're gonna dance, dance, have a good time. Dance, dance, all night long. We're gonna dance, dance, and have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family.
Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of today's video. I also want to give a huge shout out to all my Crafty Beach members for supporting my channel here on YouTube. Thank you to Karen O'Haron, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Tracy Knight, Janae Farrington, Pamelia Wren, Donna Schreiner, Live Another Day, Maren Christensen, Adrienne Brolt, Debbie Middleton, Red Mama, Tammy Muir, and Donna Tanner. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to become a Crafty Beach member, all you have to do is hit the join button next to today's video. You're going to get early ad-free access to my content here on YouTube. It's $4.99 a month, and you're free to cancel at any time. Okay, would you like more Coastal Christmas Dollar Tree DIYs? Be sure to check out one of these videos right here. And until next time, happy crafting and Merry Christmas.